एवं मैं सुतंग thus have I heard, ऐसा मैंने सुना. Hello Dhamma friends. Today we will discuss the types of disciples of the Buddha. There are two classifications of the disciples of the Buddha. One is spiritual classification or the noble classification of the disciples of the Buddha, and another is worldly classification or the conventional classification of the disciples of the Buddha. This conventional classification is also the practical classification of the disciples of the Buddha. In true classification or the noble classification, there are four pairs of disciples: Sotapanna, Sakdagami, Anagami and Arhant. Sotapanna is a stream winner, Sakdagami is once returner, Anagami is a non-returner, Arhant is fully liberated. Sotapanna. Sotapanna is the one whose doubts about Buddha, his teachings, his noble disciples, and morality are gone. Doubts are vanished, doubts are uprooted. He has no doubt about the essential qualities of these four, that is Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and sila, and that is morality. He is free of bad destinations after death. After death, he will become a human or a deva at least. At most, he will take 7 births and become a fully liberated from the cycle of birth and death. There are many more qualities of Sotapanna. We will discuss these later. Second is Sakdagami or the once returner. Once returner has weakened 2 additional fetters, that is sensual desire and ill will. Sensual desire and ill will are weakened in addition to the qualities of Sotapanna, and he becomes a Sakdagami. A Sakdagami may return to this world once and become an Anagami or Arhant in next life. An Anagami or a non-returner. Essentially, this disciple is the one who has completely uprooted sensual desires and ill will. He is a follower of complete celibacy. Fourth is Arhant, fully liberated. He is the highest level of disciple of the Buddha, and Arhant can say about himself that this birth is the last birth. Whatsoever was to be done has been done. For all the 4 categories, that is Sotapanna, Sakdagami, Anagami and Arhant, there is a spiritual stage where one has not reached this particular stage, but one has developed himself such that before he will die, he will reach that stage. For example, a person is not a Sotapanna, but he has developed the faith and knowledge to such a degree that at the time of death, by facing the reality of existence, he will definitely become a Sotapanna stream winner. Such a person is called Sotapatti Maggapatto, means stream entry path achiever. That is, he has achieved the path of stream entry. Similarly, Sakdagami Maggapatto, the one who has achieved the path of once returner. Anagami Maggapatto and Arhant Maggapatto. So noble classification of disciples, that is 4 pairs of nobles. And as we recite daily, Atta Purisa Puggala becomes Sotapatti Maggapatto Sotapanna. Sakdagami Maggapatto, Sakdagami, Anagami Maggapatto and Anagami, Arhat Maggapatto and Arhat. These are the 8 noble disciples of the Buddha. But see, if an Arhat meets another person, he doesn't say that I am an Arhat. Or if an Anagami meets another person, he does not say that I am an Anagami. In worldly affairs or practical purpose, another classification of disciple is used. This classification is Upasak Upasika Bhikkhu Bhikkhuni. This is called fourfold sangha. And this worldly classification is further divided in 5. And these 5 are Sarnagat Upasaka, Silvan Upasaka, Atta Sildari Anagrika, Samannera, and Bhikkhu. Sarnagat Upasaka is the one who has taken refuge in the Buddha. He is a householder, but he is not able to keep 5 precepts purely. A Silvan Upasaka, the one who has taken refuge in the Buddha, and he is able to keep the 5 precepts. Attasildari Nagrika keeps 8 precepts, lives a homeless life for the purpose of Dhamma. And Samannera is an ardent novice. He is a novice monk. He keeps 10 precepts. And a bhikkhu, a fully ordained monk or nun who keeps patimokkha. Now we will discuss qualities of these disciples in brief. Sarnagat Upasaka. If a householder has taken refuge in Triple Gem, but not able to keep 5 precepts, the 5 precepts are avoid killing, avoid stealing, avoid sexual misconduct, avoid lying, avoid taking intoxicants such as alcohol for enjoyment. Sometimes people cannot keep these precepts due to mental weakness or due to the engaging in a livelihood that they cannot keep their precepts pure, such as the livelihood of a butcher, livelihood of a farmer, livelihood of a fisherman, sometimes a politician, and sometimes a businessman. They cannot keep their precepts due to their livelihoods. If one is not able to live pure life, even then, he or she can be a disciple of the Buddha. And as long as he considers Buddha as his teacher, he remains a Sarnagat Upasaka. Sarnagat Upasaka take refuge in the Buddha, his teaching, and his noble disciples. As long as he or she has not taken refuge in someone else than the Buddha, he remains a disciple of the Buddha. This is Buddha's Sarnagat Upasaka. Higher than this category is the Silvan Upasaka. One who is a householder and who keeps the precepts, who keeps the 5 precepts. He or she keeps his livelihood pure by avoiding killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, taking intoxicants. Such a disciple is called Silvan Upasaka. And the third conventional disciple is Attasildari Anagrika. This is more dedicated Upasaka of the Buddha. He takes 8 precepts, including complete celibacy, controlled food, and avoiding luxury. And the 8 precepts are avoid killing, avoid stealing, complete celibacy, avoid lying, avoid taking intoxicants, avoid taking food at the wrong time, avoid adornment of the body, and entertainment from music and dance. Avoid high or luxurious beds for sleeping. These are the 8 precepts to live a simple life dedicated to the development of Dhamma, the teaching of the Buddha. Traditionally, such 8 precept disciples keep a minimum number of white clothes and they can handle money. And the 4th conventional category of disciple of the Buddha is Samannera. Samannera is an ardent monk or nun. It's a novice monk or novice nun. They keep 10 precepts. They keep ochre robes. They keep a begging bowl. The 10 precepts are same as the 8 precepts, but one additional precepts of handling money is there. The 10 Samanera precepts are: avoid killing, avoid stealing, practice pure celibacy, avoid lying, avoid taking intoxicants, avoid taking food at the wrong time, avoid adornment of the body, avoid entertainment from music and dance and drama, avoid high or luxurious beds for sleeping, and avoid using money. At the time of Buddha, money was coins of gold and silver, and nowadays money is currency notes, e-wallets, credit cards. We can see here the precepts of adornment of the body and entertainment are two separate precepts here, while in the 8 precepts they are combined as one. I don't know why it is this, but the tradition is so. The difference in 8 precepts and 10 precepts is actually of one precept only. The 5th category of the disciple of the Buddha is a bhikkhu, a fully ordained monk. There are more than 150 rules of a monk divided in various sections according to the seriousness of the precepts. We cannot discuss the complete Patimokkha rules here, but one important thing we should know about bhikkhu is he has to go through a ceremony of confession every fortnightly. That is on full moon day and on a new moon day. This is called Patimokkha recitation. It is an essential part of bhikkhu's life. The bhikkhu reflects on the last 15 days and confesses any wrongdoing in presence of the sangha. So, now we have learned 2 types of classification of the disciples of the Buddha: noble classification and worldly classification. Is there any relationship between the 2 classifications? Yes, there is a relationship. Take from Sotapanna. To be a Sotapanna, minimum worldly category of disciple is Saranagat Upasaka, the one who has taken refuge in the Buddha. It is not essential that Sotapanna keeps all the 5 precepts purely, but one particular precept he is very careful is the precepts of avoiding lying. He never lies about his spiritual attainments. He never lies just for the sake of worldly respect. A Sakdagami cannot make sexual relationship other than his or her lawful wife or husband. And he does not lie as in the case of Sotapanna, so we can say he keeps 5 precepts. So the corresponding minimum worldly category for Sakdagami is Silavan Upasaka, means a householder who keeps moral precepts. Next is Anagami. An Anagami always leads a celibate life because he has eradicated sensual desire. He keeps 8 precepts at least, or he leads a life of monk. An Anagami will live a 8 precept life or a life of a Samanera or Bhikkhu. And for Arhant, according to Buddha, monkhood is essential for an Arhant. To reach the stage of an Arhant, one has to become a Bhikkhu. Not a Bhikkhu, but a monk. The minimum worldly category of Arhant is Samanera, or he can be fully ordained monk or none. He can be higher, or at least he is a Samanera for an Arhant. Are these stages changeable? Yes. But noble stages are irreversible. Means an Arhant cannot fall back to the stage of an Anagami or lower, and similarly an Anagami cannot fall back to Sakdagami or Sotapanna. And same for the 2. Sotapanna cannot fall back to a Putthujan. In conventional classification, all stages can change as per the will of the person. A monk can choose to live as 8 precept Anagarika or a householder if he wishes, or a householder can live as a Samannira or Anagarika for a part of his life. I hope the video is useful to you. It will help you to lead the holy life under Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Keep practicing, keep increasing your knowledge about the teachings of the Buddha, study Pali Suttas, take it directly from the horse mouth. Whenever you have doubts, search a reply in Pali Suttas. Pali Suttas are unaltered teachings of the Buddha. The path of the Buddha is so wonderful. The path is easy to follow and it is highly beneficial. May you be happy, be peaceful, and easily get the desired stage of noble paths. Bye for now. May Dhamma be long lasting. May many be established on the path. Be happy, be peaceful.